Hi, folks. It's Mark Merrill with Firm, Fairness in Reporting Media. The turnout for the prayer vigils for Charlie Kirk and his family were amazing. Very positive around the state of Maine and around the country. Here at Capitol Park, this one here, which was posted by a good Samaritan friend of mine, drew about a little over 3,000 people. For the state of Maine, that's pretty good. Capitol Park, as mentioned, was down over the hill, right down across the street and over the hill, and a very large park for any type of gathering from the State House, where the legislature meets, and not too far away from the Blaine Mansion, the governor's mansion. Large turnout, lots of support, music, prayer, of course. Even former Governor Paul LePage was there. Thank you, Governor. Also, folks, you see down below the picture of Charlie and his wife here. There's a turnout from a capacity crowd of 45,000 who attended Pastor Greg Laurie's evangelistic crusade, packing out Angels Stadium, the baseball stadium in Anaheim. Pastor and evangelist Laurie and his staff and organizers held their annual Harvest Crusade. Back in July it was, however, with a capacity crowd of over 45,000 at Angels Stadium, how appropriately named. I think that was intentional anyway on Pastor Laurie's part. With an additional, get this folks, 200,000 online viewers. A one-night event. People online of 200, almost 250,000 people. And 45,000 packed the baseball stadium. So there. I don't think people care about an individual like Charlie. God rest his soul and hope he's in everlasting glory with God. I don't care about the future of this country and the future of youth in this country. You're damn right he does. He's looking down, wishing he could have joined the celebration. But the event also saw more than 6,500 people. I know we're talking about July, folks, but 6,500 people make professions of faith coming to Jesus, marking one of the most powerful responses in its 35-year history. Now, you see, this was before the assassination on Mr. Kirk. It marks the second consecutive year the stadium has been packed out. Mr. Laurie told the audience, quote, "It doesn't matter if you're young or old, if you're rich or poor. Your life feels like one long scroll, and no matter how far you swipe, you're still empty inside. What you're looking for isn't found on a screen or an AI voice." Well said. It's found in a living God who has plans and a purpose for your life this night. The event celebrated 35 years of powerful faith-filled outreach, garnered widespread support. More than 500 media outlets across the country partnered with Harvest to broadcast the live stream, significantly expanding its reach. Additionally, 260 Southern California churches provided essential mobilization and volunteers, highlighting a strong community effort. Gavin Newsom. Laurie called this a first in Harvest history at Angels Stadium. Fire marshals stopped attendees from walking out onto the field when it was at capacity. He said, "We respect the fire marshal," Laurie updated the audience. They're just doing their job, but the good news is you don't have to be on the field to accept Christ. You can do it wherever you are. Quite popular and very famous worship leader Chris Tomlin concluded the event with performances of popular songs, including Good, Good Father, How Great Is Our God, accompanied by a spectacular fireworks show celebrating the new professions of faith. Harvest Crusades are a large-scale evangelistic events, large evangelistic events with a worldwide history spanning the country of the United States, Canada, New Zealand, folks, and Australia. Since 1990, more than 6 million people have attended Harvest Crusades in person, and an additional 5 million have participated online. Cumulatively, more than 600,000 individuals have made professions of faith through the Harvest Crusades. Pastor Lowry is the founder of the Harvest Crusades and senior pastor of Harvest Church, with campuses located in California and Hawaii. He's a renowned evangelist, best-selling author, and inspiration for the 2023 Jesus Revolution movie you may have seen. We have. It's fantastic. With some very well-known actors. It certainly gets the point across that Jesus is the path. The only path to salvation. A couple of more things, folks, in this brief review and reply on prayer vigils for Charlie Kirk's family and Turning Point USA. There was a Facebook page from which this originated right here, the picture that you see here for the promotion of not just this vigil but others at Capitol Park in Augusta. We at Firm here said thanks to Mr. Joe Labby for promoting this prayer gathering and to send a direct message to our Democratic Party members that God is in control of our country, our state, and society, no matter what they have promoted as evil, corrupt, and treasonous against our God-given constitutional rights and freedoms. That's from me, owner and founder of Firm. One particular person in the Skowhegan area replied to this. The Waterville Sentinel, which is a state, well, not really a statewide newspaper, not a very good one, the way they used to be about 75, 80 years ago. The Waterville Sentinel, he said, top of the Fold article, constantly refers to Mr. Kirk as right-wing. I have a mind, said this gentleman, to write them a note. It's inappropriate to refer to such a gentleman as right-wing. You never see the media refer to themselves as left-wing. So we followed it up. I agreed with the post by this individual. Of course, the whole newspaper junkets in Maine behind Janet Mills must be scalded, castrated, or sandblasted out of existence. Maybe not totally. Get rid of the staff and the ill-gotten treasonous activity, threats of violence and hate. That's what needs to be destroyed. You know, not that I'm mad or anything. Next up, folks, we have, of course, there's going to be protesters. Yeah, it's a free country, right? Anyway. What are you going to do? Huh? Yeah, there they are in all of their, I wouldn't call it glory. They're all gray-haired, folks. Leftovers from the Vietnam War protests. The biggest sign there, of course, right in the mug of the camera. Congress, where is your backbone? Is he asking still for Trump's impeachment? Nice try. Lousy try. Couple of others down there. Crush ice. Wow, that's original. Not. Justice for our democracy, says this woman. Notice most of them, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see here, are all covered up and have their sunglasses on or a hat down over their faces so you can't tell who they are. Oh, do you think maybe they might get prosecuted? She says, protect our democracy and stop Project 2025. What the heck is she referring to? We did an article, actually a program or partial program on Project 2025. She's got it all wrong, folks, as they usually do. Last but not least, folks, and this is the best part, not just the part about us protecting Charlie Kirk and his family, and Turning Point USA will continue. But here's just a portion of what you need to know about Charlie's organization and how you, the general public, biological men and women, boys and girls, can help out. The one we will show you is about Kennebec County's chapter, but there's lots of others, folks. So here is the flyer, folks, of Turning Point USA Kennebec County chapter. As you can see, lots of smiling faces there about the organization. And we will also give you a link as to how you can contact the chapter president. It's listed currently as Christina Parker, but she may no longer be the chapter president. We'll leave you the link both on Instagram, Facebook, and by email address. But if you can't see it all, ladies and gentlemen, it basically says this: Turning Point USA Incorporated is organized and operated exclusively for educational and charitable purposes in accordance with non-profit laws to empower informed civic and cultural engagement grounded in American exceptionalism and a positive spirit of action. Turning Point USA, they say, guides citizens through development of knowledge, skills, values, and motivation so they can meaningfully engage in their communities to restore traditional American values like patriotism, respect, not only for your fellow man or woman or child, but respect for life as well. And respect for liberty, family, and fiscal responsibility. Please contact them, folks. We'll have it in our comment section so you can get in touch with them. In the meantime, as always, with us here at Farm, Mark Merrill, Fairness in Reporting Media. Contact us through fairnessinreportingmedia@gmail.com, fairnessinreportingmedia@gmail.com. We're also 5 days a week, and you can see our podcast 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, just like you can contact us on email, on YouTube, and Twitter, or X. As always, pray for our country, folks. Pray for the state of Maine. Pray for our entire country and for the work that President Trump is doing with his cabinet to keep us safe, not only on our borders, but from those trying to get into our country illegally. You may have noticed in recent news from either the Pacific or the Atlantic Ocean, especially just south of Florida. Everyone stay safe. Peace to all.